Hello to everyone, this is Vishal and hope all are doing good. So this is the festive season and I wish to all that fulfill your wishes this time. Okay, so as we have done many sessions related to the Kotlin and other, and first thanks to all for your likes and comments. Too many likes, I have seen that, so thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that, and you are learning from my channel, so thanks to all. So today we also take an important topic that is related to the serialization, and as we know that we have done simple serializations in many cases. Those who are new in the Java and other things, so uh, I will explain it from the scratch. What is the basic concepts of the serialization and how we can do it in a Kotlin? Because of that is very important whenever we create an object and the JSON objects, and that time we need it. Whenever we pass the data from one activity to the other, and lot of stuffs be there. So we need to discuss first that how this concept we have to work, means where this concept comes in Kotlin or in Android. So the basic thing is that we have learned from the Java, and also we discuss about that how it works with the JVM. So a lot of stuffs and how we can do that with the plugins we can install it for Kotlin. So that's a lot of stuffs we have to need today, and that we discuss. So now we have to start this basic things first, and thanks one more time to all. So let us start it. Okay, so let us start it the Kotlin serialization, and but before that we need to understand the concept of the serialization, because of in any subject whenever we learn it from the scratch, and we have to describe it. That means if basic concepts is good, so you can learn anything. So that's we can follow that approach as we have done in all my sessions. So see, serialization first it comes from the Java, and in the Java it is a mechanism of writing the state. So if you know about that, we have a J2SE, J2E and J2ME3 different categories we have to work with the Java. So on that time we needed the mechanisms of writing the state of an object into the byte stream. So why byte stream? Because of Java works for the Java virtual machine. So as we know that we have created class files and then run it anywhere in any platform. So that concept becomes how we can make it any object with a easy. So they use it as in Hibernate, RMI, HPA, JPA, sorry, and EJB and JMS technologies. So that is most important whenever you work with the serialization mechanism of writing the state of object into the byte stream. That is a very simple line, a single line, that is object into byte stream. And how it works? It works on JVM, Java Virtual Machines. And again on that machine we can execute it and learn it, or we can read it. So that means the reverse operation of the serialization called here deserialize the things. So where byte stream is converted into again object, and you can work on that. So the serialization and deserialization process is platform independent. That is the quality, one important quality of Java. That means under the Java feature we can use this feature. It's platform independent, as Java is a platform independent. So this is one of the most important features whenever we learn it, and means you can serialize an object on any machine. You can make it, and you can create that class file, and you can use that class file and can read it. And once you read it, you can convert it, that deserialization process, into the serialization. So that means this deserialization means you have to read byte stream, and you can see the object on that cases and work on that object also on that time. So object to byte stream and byte stream to object. The simple is concept is you serialize and deserialize. So that is most important. Okay. So if you can see that here, you can the object this serialization, this is a stream, and then again deserialization. This is a very simple concept. Just if we talk about that, serialization is marker interface. It is used to mark Java classes so that the objects of those classes may get a certain capability, clonable and remote, or also marker interfaces. So that I will describe you also, but at this time what we needed here the Java IO serial, that is that we can implement. Implements means whenever we have any interface. Those who know about the Java, they know the difference between how we can do the extends or how we can implement. So this is the interface, not a class. So we only implement. The same approach we can use it in Android, but how, that we'll discuss also. So first we need it. Why we do need this? Means serializations involves the procedures of objects, serialization and transmissions. So this enables multiple computer systems to design, share and execute objects simultaneously. That is the most important part. Means whenever we have created some procedure or a function on that, we needed to make it serialized in a very easy way, is an easy approach, because of we have to work with byte streams there. Caching. So the time consumed in a building an object is more compared to the time required for the deserializing. So the serialization minimizes the time consumption by caching the giant objects. So that means we have very big objects, and there we can convert it. They're like a big JSON object, so we can convert it in a serialized form and then use it anywhere. Deep copy, so cloning also. This process is made simply by using serialization. An extra replica of an object is obtained by serializing that object to a byte array and then deserializing it. So that's very easy. And cross JVM synchronizations means the major advantage of serialization is that it works across different JVMs that might be running on different architectures. So these all you can get this information anywhere from the internet. Okay. But the basic concept is why we need it. So that means for the communication, for the caching, for the cross JVM synchronization, persistence. So these all we can use it also be in a Android stuffs. So how I will describe it one by one in my coming lectures. So first we learn it how we can use a very simple concept on here, Kotlin serialization also. But first we have learned little bit more theory. So the Java object is serializable if and if only if its classes or any of parent class implements either a serializable interface or its sub interface. Okay. So here we can do this stuffs like if we have any employee, we can do that serialization. There will be the ID and the name. So we can create this object as a serializable, and then once it's created as a serializable, we can use it anywhere. This employee. So this serialization process is a built in a feature that does not require the third party software to execute serialization. So there is no need. So that means we can read it from any third party libraries on like that. And here we can use simple procedures is proven to be the simple and easy to understand, and it is easy to simple customize. Serialization data stream supports encryptions, comparisons, authentications, secure Java computing, a lot of things with it. And if we're talking about the disadvantage, that also be the means if there is a cron, so there is a prawns also. The cron is prawns. So that means object while deserialization become brittle, and then they are not sure to be the deserialized effect. Sometimes it happens. So the transit variables declared with the serialization creates memory space. That is also be the issue. Okay. But the constructor is not called, which result in the failure in the initialization of the transit variables. So that's, but this is related to the Java, not for the Android. So there is some other drawbacks in Android also, but this is a basic disadvantages of using this. So also we can say that it fails to offer the fine grained control to access the objects, because of we have to create once, then we can use it. So we do not go with at this time this disadvantage, just for learning to understand the things, nothing else. But we are working with the Android, so there we have a lot of things we have to learn also. So if we go with the Android, so here just like if we go with the Java, there is IO serializable, we can implement it. Okay, so that means either we can use that Java IO serializable, or here we can use that serialization with that serializable simple. That's the same thing, the same interface, that is the same interface we can use it. Okay, because of learning with the Java, but the Kotlin, the things we changed. So here we can see that classes that do not implement this interface will not have any of their state deserialized and serialized both. All subtypes of the serialized classes are themselves serializable. Means if you learn this interface and the Kotlin convert that interface as in your package and then use it there, means you can use that IDs. Okay, so that's also we can learn. So that means most important thing is if you work with the Java in Android and make the serializable, so we need this interface, that is the most important part. The same as we have done in a Java. To allow subtypes of non-serializable classes to be serializable, the subtypes may assume responsibility for saving and restoring. Okay, and the subtypes may assume this responsibility only if the classes extends an accessible no-arg constructor. So that also will describe it, but at this time we just learn this theory, but just for the concepts. That means you learn that what is exactly going on there. So if we talking about that serializable is a markable interface, or we can call as an empty interface, so it doesn't have any pre-implemented methods. Okay, that is the most important point. So serializable is going to convert an object to a byte stream, so the user can pass the data between an activity to other activity, that is we can call it in Android language. So the main advantage of the serializable is creations and the passing data is very easy, but it is a slow process compared to parseable. So what is a parseable? That is also bit important. We also discuss in one more lecture, that is differently, but at this time we just go for simple serializable. So there also we can implement the parseable, but we'll discuss some other day. And what is the difference between, practically we can learn also. Okay, so generally if we can say that the parseable is a faster than serializable. Okay, so the parseable is going to convert an object to byte stream, pass the data between two activities also. So writing a parseable code is little bit complex compared to serialization. So that is the difference only, but the process is faster than serialization. But serialization we can say that it is slow, but we can make it very easy. It is easy to create that, and a lot of other differences, basic differences we have also learned, but in other lecture, but today we just go for the serializations. So one more time we can say that it is a process of converting the data used by an application to a format that can be transferred over a network or stored in database or a file. And again we can fetch that data and then make it deserialization and process, and then opposite process of reading the data. Just simply, that's it. So the serialization is the process of reducing an object to its primitive contents like a number, strings, and that means lot of contents we do not need it. Means if your JSON that contains array, numbers, strings, a lot of stuffs there, so you can make it. Means just simply you can make your model serializable, whatever it be. Okay, so how we can create that, how we can just say that if you have any user and implement serializable, so you can just create that getter setters in that form of serializable. Okay, and once it's done, you can just create it, you can pass it with that user data, you can set it and send it to that serializable, and the same we can fetch it. So this is, we can say, Android process. I will show to you. And what we can say that is also be the important line. We can say the using serializations we can convert the state of an object to the byte stream. The byte stream platform independent, as we discussed many times, and that works on the JVM and other platforms. Okay, so now the most important thing is how it works with the Kotlin. So here the Kotlin X provides the serializations libraries, so you can use it, but where we can use it, that the formats are JSON, CBOR, protocol, buffer, and many other features they provide us. Okay, so you can serialize it in different forms, but the most popular form is JSON. So because of we are working with the JSONs, we are using that, and also CBOR. That's we can also we learn in some other lecture. So today we just make a simple object of JSON today. Okay, so how we can create it, that is, so here you can see that we have a JSON, protocol, buffer, CBR, properties, HOCON. So that means HOCON. So that we have to learn a lot of things. So here what we needed to plugins JVM, because of, as we discussed many times, it works on the JVM. So the same Java concept we can use it in Kotlin. So Kotlin nothing else, that means we can use the Java libraries here also, that we can create a new libraries from that. So the process or basic building concept is the same. So here you can see that JVM and serialization process plugin, we need it. Okay, and then use that implementation, and that you can create your import the files, that means serialization, serializable, and then you can use that. So I will describe you one by one this by the practical, but first we learn in a simple Android Java how we can make a simple serializable and then pass it to the other activity, and then the same we can do the process that first we create an object and how we can create a Kotlin object on that, means serializable concepts on the Kotlin also. So let's see practically how we can do or achieve it. Okay, so let us start in a very easy approach, as we do not go with that means detail here, because of our motive is to work with the Kotlin. So I just describe you a simple process of the serialization, what we doing generally. So first we are creating the classes, that means whenever you use the models, you can create that models always. So that model I am making that for the user, and what we doing generally, we can just use that public string and likewise, and here we are using that name, this is simple, and here we can use that the public string or public int ID or whatever be, okay, or phone, if you want to go with that, whatever you want, you just put it. Okay, and here you can see that you can generate the getter and setter both, so we can use it like this. But if you want to make it, you can just say that implement, so nothing we need it, we directly use that serializable. Okay, so Java IO is, that means it is inbuilt, and we can use that simple process on that, and we can make and create this class, and we can call this class in your activity and then send it to the other activity. So this is the way we can do. I just describe you in a single approach how we can do. We do not take too much time here, because of we work with, we have to check on the Kotlin, the main motive. Okay. So just see what we are doing here. Okay, so after making this class, how we can use this serializable. So first we go for, means if you want to pass on the first activity to the other, so what you doing generally, we just simply create a function that is called your send data. On any button click we can call it, or whatever, wherever you want, and if you want to go with that, you just create that user object, and then say new user, and whatever you want to put it here, you can just set and set the values with you, just like ABC, and user dot set phone, and this is the phone number. And once this set, what we doing, we just simply say the intent, this is our intent, and our intent is for the main activity dot this to, we are passing it to the second activity dot class. Just only the basic steps. And for this, what we doing, we need a bundle here. Because of making the serializable, we need it. So new bundle you can create it. So that bundle in which we have to make it serializable, so you can just say that put serializable, and you just say that this is your data, and whatever be the value you can pass it to that. Okay, so here that means once you converted it, that means it converted into the stream form. So that means this is your simple put serializable, and you can just say that I dot put extra. Okay, not a extra, it is extras. Okay, and then extras you can put it as in a B, and here we can just send it as in a start activity, and that is called I. Okay, and you can call this function anywhere. And how you can receive it, so you can that means you have to pass it, and how you can deserializable in generally. So what we do, either create a separate method, otherwise here on create you can what to do, you just say that this is your intent, and I you just say the get intent, and the same for the bundle. You can convert it in a single line, but I describe you one by one. Okay, so that means this is your I dot get extras. Okay, so whatever it passed, we can fetch it here. And the second thing is user, and how you can convert it, you can say that this is your class user, and this is your B, that is your bundle, that means you convert it into that, and get serializable. So that means whatever be that, it deserialize it, and the key is your data. Okay, so by this we can fetch that data, and you can just say that this is your get name, and user dot get phone. So by this you can deserialize it simply. So that's very simple step, so you can use it, means on that whenever you send it, you can send that like this, make it a bundle, put serializable, put extras, and then, and you whenever you can receive it, you can do that like. Okay, but these things be little bit different in your Kotlin. So first I will describe you how you create a simple object of that, and the rest of the things we can explain in my coming sessions also. So just we can go for the Kotlin project and see how we can first create a serializable object. Okay, so let's start in Kotlin how we can do that. So in my coming sessions we will describe the serialization process in more depth levels and complicated levels also. So first basic step is that what we needed this implementation. This is called your JetBrains Kotlin X serialization process. That is for the JSON we are doing first, and these two plugins we needed. Number one is JVM, and number two is your serialization. Okay, these two plugins are the most important plugins we have, and here we have built with this serializations. So once it's done, you have to go with the class, and then you can create your class, Kotlin class. Either you can create a data class or whatever it be. I will show you both. Okay, so user model, first I will create that class, and here what we needed as a serializable. Okay, and once this serializable we have done, you can say that where, and here you can say that name, and name is your string type of that. You can just say that is equals to null. Okay, so the first value be like this, and this is your phone, and here you can say that int you can do that with your null. Okay, so this to be ready, and what we needed we can call it here. So how we can call that, you can just set the val, and this is your user model, and that is your user model, and this user model we can need it, and you can whatever you want, you can pass it like this, the name, and this is your user model, and that phone. And also I describe you many times that val means this is final here. Okay, so if you are doing the val, you can just check the things where it is using the variables that can be changed, but if you using it in a val, it never change. Okay, so if you check it, work with carefully, so make it a final or make it the values. Okay, if you do with this like a val, so it throw you error on that here because of it is a final, so it never be changed, so you have to need it that where. So once it's done, what we need it, we need to make it a intent for this. So you can say that this is your intent, and that intent we need it for that intent, and you can say that this comma second activity colon colon class dot java. Okay, so that means we have to pass something be here, and there are many approaches. I will describe you bundle approach also. First I will describe you very simple approach. You can pass the things be there, and here you can say that intent dot put extra, and that you can put extra bit like this data and comma your user model. Okay, so once it's done, that means we can send our values be there, and you can your start activity be like here. Okay, so we're using the intent. So I don't want to go on the depth, just basic things be here. So you can start your activity here. I just say that because of its very simple steps you can learn. I just describe you the things be here, and on your second activity, what we needed, what we needed that. Okay, so how you can get that values be here, so you can make it as an intent or you can directly use it. So if you want to make it as intent here, and you can just say for the user, and that user you can pass it as a user model, and that user model we can fetch it as an intent dot get serializable extra, and here you can get it as in a data, and you can say that we need it as user model, and that is our values. You can fetch it. Okay, so you can fetch it as in a user dot name. Okay, so here you can get that those values be here. So these very basic steps we have to learn. But one more thing I want to describe you, that is the most important part, that how you can make a JSON forms. Many times we need it. So if you have any example for the data class, and here you can say that our class is data class, and that's your user. Okay, sometimes we need it. So on my next lecture I will describe you where we need this data class and how we can fetch that, how we can implement it with the retrofit, and lot of stuffs with it with this serializable. So we'll do it, or we'll cover it one by one. So you can create a user class here, and you can just say that add serializable. Okay, and once it's done, that means you can pass your values be here. So you can say that val name, and that val name is your string, and that string is your val phone, and that phone you can make it as an int. Okay, so that is your data be ready, and once data be ready, what we need to go for any activity, and you can just say that. So sometimes we need to this data class be here, that means to convert as in a string format or likewise that. So you can do that be very easy way. You can just say that your username or a user whatever you create, and you can put it that value be here, and that value be here just like say Vishal, and the value is whatever be, and you just create that JSON. Sometimes we need to create a JSON for that, so you can just set JSON JSON dot encode to JSON and code to string, whatever be. Okay, so there are many ways you can do that. First we discuss about the string here, and here you can whatever be your user, you can pass that user be here. Okay, so this is the way you can do, and you can decode it anywhere. So this is a very basic step we learned today, and on my coming session we'll describe you more about the serializable, how we can create a complex objects, and there the variety of like this JSON dot decode from element, decode from a string, and code for JSON element. So that all we need to discuss about that, and also we can use that JSON elements be with the retrofit, and how you can create your model class and you fetch the data and serializable it. So that's and also we can learn the parse label. So we have a lot of stuffs in my coming session, so continue with this tour and we'll discuss about that. So thank you so much, and we'll wait for the second video also. Thanks.